Lo, there do I see my father. Lo, there do I see my mother.
And my sisters and my brothers. Lo, there do I see the line of my people, back to the beginning.
Lo, they do call to me. They bid me take my place among them.
In the halls of Valhalla, where the brave may live forever.
These are the voyages of the starship Ragnar. Her mission to explore the Shakelton expanse for new friends and allies, and to fearlessly peer into that final frontier.
All right, and welcome everyone to Season 3, Episode 3 of Star Trek Valhalla, a Star Trek Adventures actual play run by myself, Dare Wolf, and 5 super cool folks. I still can't believe we've made it all 3 seasons. It's been a wild ride. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, we've had some backs, we've had some forwards, both in time and emotionally. But it's been a good ride. It's been a good ride. We have fought giant planet-eating planets. We've fought time bandit pirate people, and discovered weird stations of chronology. But with that being said, we're just going to go around the table, have everyone introduce themselves, tell us who they are playing, and give us just an idea of just like what they're all about. That's what I want to hear. I want to know what you're all about. We're going to start with Brian. We're going to go to Symbol, Sidereal Day, Drubaka, and then, of course, we'll wrap it up with Charles Warren, heart of the group. But take it away, friends.
Hello, I am Brian. I'm at Mind of Orion on both Twitter and on Twitch, although on Twitch I spell it with a 0. And I am playing Captain Asbatreso, the Betazoid captain who has forsworn his telepathic gifts. Ow, ow, ow. Sorry, the cat was digging her nail into my arm. And I'm all about putting together a crew that works well together and maximizing everyone's potential so that they can achieve the best they can be the best they can be in Starfleet.
I am Symbol24. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter under the same name. On Twitch, I stream from time to time. I try not to. I'm just kidding. I play Lieutenant Alden Paris, the science officer of the Ragnar, and I'm all about the sciencey stuff and doing it without proper authorization. Sometimes it might explode.
Good evening. I'm Sidereal Day, and I play Commander Ajay Shahira, the ship's first officer and chief medical officer. And I guess I'm all about making sure both the ship and the crew are functioning. Someone has to.
Fair. That's fair.
Hi, I'm Drew. I play Lieutenant Commander Krev Glosh, the Tellarite chief engineer who is there to keep the Ragnar running at peak efficiency and beyond, because if he doesn't, then no one else will.
I'm Charles Warren. I play Ensign Zed, the Chief of Security and the Operations Officer. And Zed is all about instead of the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, it's the profits of the many outweigh the profits of the few. And instead of monetary profits, it's the good well-being of all.
I love it.
And that's what he's all about.
Love that. I love that. And of course, I am Dare Wolf. I'm all about running RPGs with my friends and hopefully having a good time with them. So that's what I'm all about. And here I am doing just that with this beautiful evening. So we're actually going to open our first scene in the Forward Lounge. The Forward Lounge of the Ragnar. You guys have recently picked up a distress signal several light years away, close enough to where you should be there within the next few hours from it seems to be a Federation symbol, but a Federation signal, excuse me, but it does seem to be slightly out of date. It seems as though the algorithm that it's using, the clearance codes, they seem out of date. But not too much to where it'd be strange. Maybe the ship's been out on some sort of secret mission, but it is coming from a Federation vessel by the name of the Falcon. The Falcon is the name of this vessel. It's the USS Falcon. Records of a Falcon you cannot find any records of the Falcon in the ship's computer, but it is not uncommon for older vessels, or maybe vessels that were on secret missions, things like that, to have their records scrubbed. So maybe this is some weird secret stuff we don't know, but all you know is that there is a crew potentially in danger that is in need of assistance, and it is your responsibility to go find them. But like I was saying, you guys are going to pick up. We're going to pick up with one Lieutenant Paris next to his squeeze, I suppose it is his squeeze, we could call it. And you're sitting at the lounge, the forward section of the vessel, and you both have been having a drink this evening. You have the Vulcan woman. She's half Vulcan, so she's got a little bit more emotion than Lieutenant Paul is her name, and she is just serving some folks, as it were, and she it's just asks if you guys would like any additional drinks. You see your friend there. You see Hagen just kind of lift his hand up. He's been nursing the same drink, Lieutenant Paris, for the past 15 or so minutes, and seems not perturbed, but he seems a bit distracted. The conversation has been somewhat... How do I put this? It's been a little one-sided. You've been asking him how his day was, what's going on. He's just been like, it's been fine. Everyone's healthy. We've gotten rid of the last of the vampiric virus, etc. But I'd like you to start, Lieutenant Paris. With not this particular scene. I just wanted to give you an idea of where you're at. But what you're going to do is you're going to give us your opening log, and then you're going to dive right into the scene, right post your opening log. All right? I wanted to give you an idea of where you're at, and then you're going to start that opening log. All right? Take it away.
All right. Personal log, Lieutenant Alden Paris, USS Ragnar, Stardate 403588.6. Hey, Jen. Sorry I haven't talked to you in a while. Mom is probably making your life hell on the Challenger. You wouldn't believe what just happened to us. We encountered an honest-to-God virus that turns people into, wait for it, vampires. Sorry. Look, we managed, well, when I say we, I mean the captain and the doctor. They managed to, kill the vampire, make a cure from his blood, save everybody on board, because, that's what they do. No thanks to me, because anyways. What was I? Oh, yeah. There was also this vampire hunter, that doctor. And like he was like this next level Cation, but not a Cation. Anyways, and get this, his name was Dr. Van Helsing. Anyways, their crew is recovering. Some still have a few physical symptoms, and ears, fangs, and other have cravings for the blood of their compatriots. Zed is going on about his poor lobes, how it was degrading, but he's also sad at the same time that he, doesn't get to keep the fangs. He's thinking about, getting surgical augmentations, but we're working on that. Captain was a bit too much as well into that vampire hunting thing. He took out a sword. Who has a sword? Had a leather coat, everything, and then I was able to at least squeeze in a little little me in there with the little UV phaser bolt guns. I'm sorry, I'm just too excited. Anyways, wait, what? Zed just messaged me. We're how can I put this? We've got a distress signal from a ship, ID Falcon. Anyways, Doc is getting ready probably for casualties. I need to go back to the bridge. Take care. Say hi to Mom. Computer, end log, and transmit.
As you say end log transmit, you see Nurse Hagen staring at you, looking super annoyed at you, just kind of like holding on to his drink, and his expression just says, "Really?
What?
I thought I thought this was... I ask you for 30 minutes. 30 minutes on Wednesdays for you and me to sit down, have a drink, and just talk. And you're working. You're sending messages. You've got your communicator on so that you can... You know what,
not on.
Paris? You know what, Paris? I think we need some space.
Where does that come? What? Where is this coming from?
The fact that you don't see it and know, that's where it's coming from. And he stands up. I thought you loved me. And he is going to storm out of the galley area, of the break room. He's going to exit into the hallway. At that, the bartender, she walks over to you and looks down at your still mostly full glass and says, "Are you going to need a second one of those?"
I need to go to the bridge.
She nods, takes your full glass, puts it behind the bar, and we watch as Lieutenant Paris gets up, probably visibly shaking, gets up and makes his way towards the bridge, where we are going to actually pivot over to the bridge of the Ragnar. Over the bridge of the Ragnar. We'll watch Lieutenant Paris head in, but as Lieutenant Paris heads in, relieves the junior officer that was at his station. We see Captain Treso, and we see First Officer Commander Ajay, Dr. Ajay, sitting in her First Officer chair, Treso in his chair. We even have one Commander Krev up on the bridge today. Just, they wanted you up here. They're looking at potentially some damage on this vessel. You may need your expertise, and they don't want to have to call down to you while you're, neck deep inside of a Jeffries tube near the warp core. But we see Captain Treso and everyone there on the bridge, and the Ensign Mini Crusher. She is over, and she's doot doot doot. Captain, the signal is a bit weak right now, but I'm triangulating it to... It's in the system that we've just entered. Recommend dropping out of warp, sir. Sir, I can't hear you. You're doing that thing where you talk, but no words come out.
Ensign Crusher, take us into orbit, please.
Aye, sir. And
Or Ensign Shreer.
Yeah,
Shreer?
Shreer.
Helm?
Yes, Helm.
Take us into orbit.
Sheer, S-H-I-R. So we watch as Minnie kind of pokes her little console. She turns back, looks at Lieutenant Paris. Lieutenant Paris, I'm picking up the signal. It seems to be coming from the fourth planet of this system star. It seems to be a... Oh dear. It seems to be a Class A planet, sir. Mostly volcanic activity, and there's a... I'm not sure what to do with these readings. Lieutenant Paris, can you make heads or tails of these?
Yeah. Planet readings. Yes. What are we talking about?
Mr. Paris, are you all right?
Yes. Sorry, Captain. Just yes, looking at the readings and double checking the scans.
Looking at your sensors, Lieutenant Paris, the sensors themselves almost in this moment feel almost foreign to you. Like, you know what you're looking at, but obviously your mind is in a very different place and is settled on a very different situation than the one you find yourselves at. All of your checks for this particular scene are going to be at a +1 difficulty, all right? So you're going to be making a control science to analyze, to basically to lock on to these strange readings and to analyze them. And difficulty normally would be a 3. For you, it's going to be a 4 in this situation. See if you can try to identify what Ensign Mini Crusher is picking up.
All right. Do stellar cartography or astrophysics work in this situation?
Astrophysics, yes.
All right. And with technical expertise, I can reroll a die. So, science.
I believe. Excellent. As you start to look at the scans, your head is spinning, Lieutenant Paris. It is absolutely spinning. And Commander Ajay, I'd like you to roll an Insight Medicine, difficulty of 0, just to kind of look over and gauge Lieutenant Paris in this moment.
Sorry, what was the attribute?
Insight
Insight?
and Medicine.
Okay.
Insight Medicine, difficulty 0. I'm going to get you guys a little bit of momentum here, because you're probably going to need it. Hashtag no spoilers. They come up. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Focus of psychology.
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's
Panic
3
attack.
momentum
Cool.
for you.
Panic
You
attack in
know
3, 2.
instantaneously. You can see that he's having a panic attack right now, like straight up having a panic attack. His face is sweaty. His complexion seems a bit pale and pasty, and he looks like he's shaking. And his breathing is
Okay.
very short breaths.
Ajay's gonna cross over there, and Mr. Paris, match my breaths. Okay, Mr. Paris, look at me.
What? Huh?
In, hold, out, repeat with me.
He's not able to do it. It's like,
All right,
nope.
Mr. Paris. Yeah, as she's gonna reach out and like, not quite touch him, but name 5 things you can see, Mr. Paris.
Glasses, badge, captain, the console,
One more.
view screen.
All right, very good. 4 things you can hear, Mr. Paris.
You, the grumbles from the captain, the grumbles from Rev, and the beeping view screen.
Very good, Mr. Paris. 3 things you can smell.
The grumbles from Krev.
The uniform.
Sorry.
The recycled air, and Zed's cologne.
Very good, Mr. Paris. 2 things that you can touch right now.
The console and me.
Very good. 1 breath in, out. All right, Mr. Paris.
What was that? What just happened?
Did you... I don't suppose something happened before you came up here?
You can say that.
All right. That was a panic attack, Lieutenant.
Oh. Okay. Captain, permission to take leave?
Granted, Mr. Paris. If you need time.
Thank you. I'll see myself to medical. Sick bay.
Captain, we are entering the orbit around the planet, but there's some sort of strange energy field. I'm picking up multiphasic energy and what appears to be modified, the lingering traces of perhaps a warp field or warp energy. I'm going to bring it up on the view screen now, sir. With your permission, of course.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I'm thinking Paris is true.
Krav, this is what you're up here for, so.
Yeah. And as this is all going on, Ensign Zed, you are going to enter onto the bridge as well. You were dealing with a small security issue with one of the previously affected vampire crewmates who was feeling particularly hungry and kept ordering the computer to do extra rare meat, and it was making a lot of other crew members uncomfortable. And so you went down, you had a conversation, you walked him through it, got him over to medical. It was totally good. Ran into Nurse Hagen. Nurse Hagen seemed very upset. and it was a whole thing. But maybe you should go check on your friend Paris. But as you enter onto the bridge, you watch as Paris, I believe you were leaving the bridge, Lieutenant Paris, you watch him head into the other hallway and disappear from view. But you have a beep, 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 beep on your console, which is indicating that the computer is picking up some sort of strange signal, perhaps even some sort of potential breach of security, which is interesting. Someone might be accessing a portion of the vessel, but not with the proper permission. Could be a computer glitch, but I'd like you to roll a insight security with a difficulty of 3 on this one. Insight security difficulty of 3, please.
All right. Let's see. See if I have any focuses that. I have shipboard tactical systems. I have computers.
Shipboard. I will let shipboard tactical systems work.
Okay. All right. So that was insight security.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, there's Tom. All right. You begin to boop, 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 and I want you to imagine like the movie Hacker Man, and you're trying to like track down who tried to access a system. You just got a thing is like unauthorized access, but it doesn't tell you where the unauthorized access was. So you start first trying to track down where the access happened. As soon as you do that, whatever alarm was going off, whatever sort of access had been breached, the error, the warning message, the alert disappears.
Zed would like to walk over to Krev Station. Commander.
Ensign?
I've just had a notification of an unauthorized access, but the moment that I tried to trace it, it appeared to disappear. Perhaps you might take a look at it. And I'll reroute the findings over to you to a display on your console. It seems highly unusual.
Rev, give me a insight engineering difficulty of 2.
Can I use improvisation?
Absolutely. I'll allow it.
Insight. Engineering. I'm going to use a momentum, please.
Absolutely, man.
Submit, focus, yes, submit. Difficulty 2.
You pick up, Lieutenant Commander Krev, you pick up a small power surge in the transporter room 2. No activity, nothing in the pattern buffers. There was just a brief power surge, and it just dissipated.
I'm gonna see if I can get any more information about it. Just briefly, like, and then I'm gonna send it over to the captain because transporters are his deal, more than mine.
I like it.
So yeah, I'm gonna collect any other like information that I think he would want to know, as opposed to like what I would look up. Like I know what he would look for, and I know what I would look for. I looked what I would look for. Now I get what he would look for, and then I send it over to him.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And as the kind of the view of this scene pivots over to Treso, we watch as our view of this particular scene starts to kind of do that wibbly wobbly like phasing sort of thing. And we find ourselves on a different ship. We find ourselves on a ship. There are wires, lines, tubes, panels crash down. There is a couple of small fires going on this particular vessel. And we recognize this particular vessel. We recognize this particular vessel as being a highly modified Miranda-class vessel. And as we pan kind of like through this bridge. We see chairs knocked over. We see bodies lying on the floor, burn marks. Looks like this ship had a real run in it. And as we pan up, we see a nameplate. And the nameplate says the USS Raven. USS Raven. And as the nameplate comes into view, we watch as the camera kind of goes up to the view screen, which has a big crack in it. It's kind of fluttering a little bit back and forth. ISS Raven, excuse me. ISS Raven, forgive me. It's kind of like flickering a little bit. We see kind of on the side of the screen that's flickering, it's a little bit more reflective. We see none other than, well, Captain Krev. Take a moment to describe the alternate version of yourself as I pivot us over to the surface of this Class A planet and the crashed ISS Raven.
Captain Krev is in kind of they're not like, it's not like a uniform, but it's slightly militaristic looking clothing. Just more, definitely not like a Starfleet uniform or even a obviously not a Terran Empire uniform.
No, God no.
Because F those guys. He is a slightly more weathered version of the same Tellarite that we all know and love. Less jovial, more grim, and he just looks meaner.
I like that. Well, Captain Krev, alternate, reflective Krev is what we're going to call him now, because we don't want to ruin the story for anybody. But reflective Krev, you have picked up the signal. You picked up the warp signal of a USS Ragnar in orbit around the planet that your vessel, once it hit this strange multiphasic energy field, it seemed to shunt your ship through both time and space. Not time, but mostly space. We're not doing any time travel this season. No time travel. All right, no travel. Just through space. Maybe the multiverse. It was weird. It was like a modified, weird kind of warp bubble. And your ship hit the energy field of this particular planet. And then, despite your crew's best efforts, they should have tried harder, those freaking lazy dogs.
Well, it's a good thing most of them are dead now.
Yes, it is a good thing. Yes, they got what they deserved. But you crash landed on this planet. Your ship is teetering precariously over the edge of a massive lava waterfall, this kind of cliff edge that leads down to this horrible, just like river of lava. And you picked up, and you can just barely see through this kind of, imagine there's like this huge energy field around this particular planet. And actually what I'll do is I will show you guys what the planet looks like, so you guys get a feel for what you're dealing with on this particular planet. The middle of it's like a red, horrible, spiraling looking planet. It's all nasty looking, and there's just, it's just red and evil and terrible. You see that obviously that Ragnar is in orbit around this planet, and it's a big planet. It's a really big planet. Like, the Ragnar is dwarfed by this massive planet. But we're gonna pivot back down to the planet's surface in this broken, kind of burned out bridge, where let's see here. I think we're gonna introduce Ajay, but Ajay herself doesn't quite look like the Ajay that we've come to know and love. Sidereal Day, I'd like to take a moment to describe the reflective, we're gonna just call it mirror universe version of yourself here. We're just gonna dive into it. Mirror universe version of yourself.
What a strange concept.
Yeah, right? So this mirror version of Ajay, she actually looks a lot softer at first glance. Her hair is much longer, although it's clearly falling out of some sort of very elaborate hairstyle thanks to the crash. And like Captain Krev, she's not really wearing a uniform. Her clothes are more orange robes, pretty similar to what you might expect to see on a Vedic, perhaps, in our normal universe.
And there's like I said, she looks softer until you look at her eyes and realize that there's definitely something wrong up top.
Captain Krev, you've just identified this Federation vessel, and being from the Mirror Universe, it doesn't take you long to realize that you have crossed over from your universe into a different universe. All the readings are strange, and it's kind of standard training in your universe to know what the other side of your universe looks like. So I'd like you two to take a moment to discuss what your plans are and how you'd like to proceed forward, knowing that your ship is almost beyond repair, but with a power source, you might be able to get it back in the air. Get away. Yes, it seems the captains have this ability to talk but not make sound. Amazing. I love it.
Well, Shahira, looks like we've got some of the weakling Federation in orbit around us.
Our distress beacon should be able to lure them close enough for us to take their warp core. Although, with all of our engineering crew dead, how...
I suppose I could lean on some of my former training.
Will you be making first contact with them, Captain, or would you rather I do it and try to open negotiations?
You know, why don't you take Transporter Chief Traso with you? The Betazoid telepathy should help you get through some of their defenses.
Entering onto the mostly burned out bridge at this point, because it's thematically appropriate, is none other than the Chief Transporter Officer, Traso. And I imagine, Traso, you've got a little bit of a smirk on your face. Take it away, gentlemen.
Captain, you will be very pleased to hear that the crew above us is none other but our mirror doppelgangers. I have taken the liberty of already accessing the transporter systems.
Asba, like one of these days, you're gonna break character and drop the accent, and it's gonna be a good day, because it's too much, man.
No. Ever since I lost my right eye in that freak engineering accident, I have always spoken like this. The doctors say perhaps it is brain damage, but I say it was brain enhancement.
Yeah. You keep telling yourself that, champ. Let's why don't you and Shahira get together, maybe try and pretend not to be yourselves, and convince these soft-headed morons above us to trust us.
Counselor Ajay, I can transport one of us onto the ship. I believe I can place us somewhere where no one will look.
Excellent. If you manage to get their transmissions, you can help me and show me what this other version of me looks like. If I can look a bit more like her, it should be relatively easy to make anyone who sees me think I'm her.
Then I have your permission to access their systems?
Isn't that up to the captain?
I'm going to spend 2 threat to give you an advantage that when you locked on to their transporter and created a bridge to their transporter, you also gained partial access to the ship's computer aboard the Ragnar and can pull up data profiles of everybody. So I'm going to spend 2 threat to give you that advantage.
Well, it is less fun than going up there, but I did access some of their systems. I will bring up the database now.
And as you mentioned, bring up the database now. A different looking version of Lieutenant Paris is also going to enter onto the bridge. And I'd like you to take a moment, Mirror Paris, give us a brief description of what Paris looks like and what's his demeanor, what's his mood look like in this moment.
So, unlike Paris, the good Paris, this one has fully embraced being a scientific genius and evil madman. Um, he's wearing all manners of different technological doodads and stuff on his like leather outfit that is way too weird for the ship. But he's also not. He's not skittish or small. He's actually a little bit buffer and meaner looking. Um, and when he bursts through the broken doors of the bridge, he pretty much just sucker punches Krev.
Jesus.
Just walks in and just sucker punches
Captain
him.
Cat Krev, you take a fist to the face.
Damn it, Krev, I told you. Don't crash the ship. You had one job as the captain. I get you this ship, and this is what you do?
Krev is gonna stand up and beat the shit out of him.
So Karev stands up and begins to beat the living hell out of Lieutenant Paris. And as, well, not Lieutenant Paris, just Paris. We're going to call him Mirror Paris, M. Paris. As he is having the literal crap beaten out of him in this moment, a certain Ferengi enters on to the bridge watching, and you see your captain beating the crap out of your mad science officer. And I'm curious.
Wouldn't be beating the crap out. It'd be more of a standoff fist fight.
Oh no! It's happening. You get sucker punched. He stands up. He starts beating the crap out of you. You're throwing back. So it's going back and forth.
Traiso is just
angry.
like interjecting enough to give you a disadvantage. So he's like kicking the back of your knees and like sticking his feet out to trip you.
It's aggressive back and forth. Yeah, and here I thought that the mirror versions of yourselves might have a chance, but you're going to be your own worst enemy. It's great. You're just going to kill yourselves. It's great. Yeah. The switch over to the mirror version of this campaign is not happening. No, but it's good. But Zed, you enter into the field.
So none of Zed's enforcers survived.
None. It's just you, dude.
All right. So Zed walks in. He's got one of those Ferengi things that go around the back of the head. You know that thing?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like prismatic kind of gold and all this shiny kind of gaudy looking thing that goes around.
Yeah.
And he's got one of those Ferengi tattoos up here on his brow also.
Mm-hmm.
And around his on his waist, he has one of those Ferengi energy whips
mm-hmm.
that he's in the past taken out to discipline some of the crew.
Mm-hmm.
But as he comes in and he sees the fight going on, he's gonna go over to where Traiso is and kind of sit on one of the chairs and prop and kick his legs up, and he's gonna take out one of his teeth sharpeners and he's sharpening his teeth, and he'll say, Traiso, Ajay, care to place a wager on who'll win this bout?
We all know it's the captain. That's so boring.
Besides, Mr. Zed, I cannot afford to owe you any more money.
Well, there's always favors.
No, I've seen the kind of favors you request.
And then so Zed's just gonna watch to see how the fight plays out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have both Paris and Krev. I'm gonna have you both make a check as your mirror selves for a second. What I'm gonna have you guys do is you're gonna roll a fitness and security, and you're just gonna roll off and see who gets it. Fitness and security, and see who gets it.
I would be a very differently balanced character if
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We're just gonna roll with it. We're just gonna roll with it. Don't even worry about it.
1d20, 2d20s.
Yeah, 2d20s. Roll off.
Okay.
Karev?
Ha
Oof. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. So Paris, you have, for the moment, you have the upper hand. You actually knock Karev onto his back, and you bring your foot up as though you're about to stomp it down onto his neck. Like, this is almost going to be a kill shot. You see the other three are just kind of looking over there. I'm assuming Trace has this like mustachioed, like just evil grin on his face. But as you go to bring your foot down, Krev, you grab on, punching the side of his knee, which knocks him to the ground, and you get him into a headlock. And you have an opportunity to put him out of his misery or to ask him to surrender this moment. How would you like to proceed?
Oh no. The second there's a headline, it's all right, all right, all right, all right.
I do not relent. Once he stops talking, and he's not saying anything, he's all right, all right, all right, all right. Then he gets him into the actual chokehold, and right, like as he's like starting to lose consciousness, he says, "That's the one for this week. Do it again, and I'll take this further." And he releases him right before he loses consciousness, stands up, kicks him in the kidney, and walks over and sits back down.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, no money exchanges hands because no one took your offer for a bet, Zed. But Tracer, you had an idea. You had downloaded the ship's manifest, as it were, basically who it was, the crew log, as it were. How would you like to proceed?
He taps at one of the panels, realizes it's dead, moves to the next one, taps it out a few times, and here we are. And then presents the database up on the main viewer, the one that's still working.
Who do you bring up first?
Shahira, that's who. Ajay Shahira, the one that I was asked for.
And as the two of you, perhaps three of you, start to look at the Ajay Shahira of the USS Ragnar, we fade away back over to the bridge of the Ragnar, where Captain Traso, you've just been sent some information about a strange power surge in one of the transporter room 2, and you're given an opportunity to try to analyze it and see what the heck's been going on. How would you like to proceed with that information?
In which case, I'll do a quick analysis to see if I can pinpoint the source, because that's with a sort of confused look at Krev, because ordinarily Krev would have already pinpointed it.
Sorry, Cap, I can't figure this one out.
What kind of role do you want?
I'm going to have you roll a Insight Engineering, difficulty of 3.
All right, I'm going to spend a not a threat, but one of our momentum to do a third dice. Excuse me. No, I actually don't. Maybe infiltration as a focus.
Yeah, that would work.
Nope.
So all signs point to it was just a standard power fluctuation. Like it happened. You know, it probably just because you're in such close proximity to this planet. There's these strange readings. It's giving off this weird multiphasic energy, this warp energy. It could be just the ship could be adjusting itself to sort of the ambient energy in the.
I'm guessing a stray electron hit a pattern buffer just the right way. It doesn't seem to have done any damage. I think we're gonna be fine.
I'll very well, sorry, 1 second. Very well, Captain. I will set up a routine to track any additional power surges that go through the transporter. I don't know. Feels weird, but yeah, I agree. It's probably just a blip.
Captain, could a blip like that appear to be an unauthorized access?
It would be a long shot. Getting access to the systems to the transporters would be a last-ditch maneuver, and I think we'd see a sustained power draw, which we're not seeing.
My console clearly seemed to detect an unauthorized access to our systems.
Simultaneous to the power draw from the transporters?
Was it simultaneous or just a few minutes before?
Simultaneous.
It was simultaneous, and I don't know. It's not sitting right with my lobes.
I mean, I can head down to the transport room and take a look.
Mm. Would you like me to accompany you, sir?
I don't see any reason for that. I'll head down to transporters and take a look. Here, you've got the bridge. You can handle a standard.
You want some?
Seek and find.
You want some company, Cap?
Well, I appreciate the offer. They're going to need you up here on the bridge to assess the damage of the ship down there.
Fine.
All right. We'll try and make contact with the USS Falcon, Captain.
Bridge to transporter room 2. Send a tech down to my call engineering. So have them send a tech up. I'm gonna come down and take a look myself.
Hi, sir. We'll send Petty Officer Andrea Bronson on my way, Captain.
Commander
Looks like I
Ajay.
get to work with your protege there, Trev. All right, I'll see you later.
Can't hope for better, Cap.
Yes, Mr. Zed?
I couldn't help notice Lieutenant Paris exiting the bridge. He appeared to be in a state. Is everything all right?
Uncertain. Something seems to have upset him before his shift.
Well, clarification. I did talk to Hagen, right? And
You
Hagen
saw
was upset as
Sagan.
well.
Hagen was
Hagen?
also upset, visibly, noticeably
yes.
so. You ran into him when you dropped
Right.
off the crew
Right.
member who was ordering very extra rare meat from the
Yes.
replicators.
Well, Commander, I happened to notice that that Hagen was also in a similar disturbed state. Perhaps the two are related?
Ah. Yes, I believe I know what might have led to this.
Well, I'm glad to have helped. And then Zed returns back up to his security console.
I like that. I like that. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to follow Traso. We're going to follow Traso down the hallway. He's traveling down a hallway. And as Traso is traveling down the hallway, and I actually don't have a good map for this. So we're just going to do Theater of the Mind in the Void of Space. We're going to do Theater of the Mind in the Void of Space. That's where we're going to be at, because that's an important thing that you can do sometimes. So as you are traveling down the hallway, Captain Traso, hello there. You're traveling down the hallway. You run into none other than Andrea Bronson. She, says, "Hello, Captain. So what's going on, Captain? Not that I don't wish to be working with you. I've actually read your service record on how amazing you were as a transport. Well, anyway, I'm kind of rambling. I don't often get to talk with you. It's a pleasure to be working with you, Captain." Yes, it's weird how you talk sometimes and you just no sound comes out, Captain.
Relax, Bronson. I'm just headed down to investigate a weird anomaly in the transporter room, and I figured I'd bring somebody who's up to date on the current specs of the transporter, just in case there's something I've missed.
Oh, absolutely. Not a problem, Captain. Was there anything in particular about the readings or something that transpired?
It was we got an odd power surge, but we couldn't track down any cause for it. It seemed to accompany a glitch in the security systems. We're just taking a look to see if anything's related. Doesn't seem like it. I've already done a quick investigation, but nothing like taking a look at the pattern buffer to see what's up.
Better to be safe than sorry, Captain. That's always been my motto. One that Lieutenant Commander Krev, excuse me, sir, doesn't necessarily seem to follow. He likes to just stick his head into... Anyway, I digress. Yeah, and so you guys both arrive, get into the transporter room. First thing you notice is usually there's a transporter chief at the console, waiting in case something needs to be transported. The room itself is empty. No one's inside, no one's outside. The room appears to be empty as you enter in.
Computer, who is assigned to transporter room 2 at the moment?
Current officer assigned to transporter room 2 is one Ensign Leonard Jenkins.
And computer, what's the location of Leonard Jenkins?
Ensign Leonard Jenkins is currently not aboard the Ragnar. Location unknown.
When was the last known location of Leonard Jenkins?
Last known location of Ensign Leonard Jenkins was Transporter Room 2.
All right. Mystery deepens. Let's take a look at the transporter logs, and Trace will head over and start pulling up the transport logs.
And as you start to pull up the transporter logs, we watch as there's the wiggity wiggity woo 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 kind of noise, kind of sound, and we watch as the view pivots back down to the volcanic planet, where a Traso currently has in his possession one Ensign Jenkins, who he has, through some sort of mysterious and definitely evil and diabolical means, managed to transport him off of the Ragnar without the crew of the Ragnar realizing what had happened. So we're going to pick up with Ensign Jenkins looking directly at whom he is confused. He's like, Captain, what's going on, sir? Wait, Jenkins. Oh, Captain. That's that Len Jenkins. Captain. I got my New York accent. There he is. Captain, what are you doing here, Captain? I don't understand. What? This isn't the Ragnar. Why'd you transport me here, sir? And Commander Ajay, why are you dressed in that weird costume? I don't understand what's going on here.
Well, you see, Ensign, as it turns out, the captain on your ship is an imposter. You see, I am the real Captain Traso, and I have been held by these evil people aboard this ship for weeks, while the doppelganger held the ship. But now we have wrested control back, and we have brought you here to tell us what you know about the current goings-on the Ragnar.
Hey, I don't know, Captain. That seems kind of strange. I don't remember you having a curly mustache like that. And also, your voice sounds kind of weird, too.
The captivity has done a number on my sense of propriety. Perhaps you would like to speak to my first officer, Commander Ajay.
Yes, Ensign, please. We need to make sure that the Ragnar hasn't been harmed while under the control of those doppelgangers.
Oh man, this is way over my pay grade, and we don't even get paid in the Federation. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm gonna have you roll a presence medicine, and you can use psychology as a focus.
Excellent.
Difficulty on this. Give me 1 second. That was a system hit. Didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna roll.
We roll engines.
Difficulty on this is only a 1. Difficulty on this is a 1. There it is.
Okay.
This is gonna be wild.
Hey,
Wow.
you did it.
Oh man, I can't believe this is happening to me. Oh geez, well, what a day for me to be assigned to the transporter room too. I mean, it's usually not the room that I'm even in, and well, Captain, I've got you back here, and I'm sure that Commander Ajay, once we get back to the Ragnar, they'll be able to fix that weird gravelly voice you got going on. It kind of reminds me of that old show I used to watch. What was it? The Moose and the weird guy. There was a squirrel or something. Anyway, I digress. Yeah. So I mean, everything seems to be going pretty normal. We've just been exploring the Shakelton Expanse, like, we were assigned to. Everyone almost did get turned into vampires a few weeks back, which was kind of weird.
Vampires, you say?
Yeah, there was a whole virus thing, but the captain turned himself into some sort of like that old Earth movie. What's it called? Blade 4 or something like that. I think they made like 16 of them or something. It was one of the earlier versions of Blade. But yeah, that's the one. And I mean, they seem to be pretty much being like you. So kind of weird the doppelgangers wouldn't be, and he starts to narrow his eyes, wouldn't be doing evil stuff. Wait. How do I know you're not the actual doppelgangers and the folks up there are real, and you're trying to trick me into thinking you're the real, but you're actually the doppelgangers?
because Ensign Jenkins, would I try to convince you of that with this terrible injury to my eye and this vocal pattern?
Presence command, difficulty of 6.
Oh, Jesus. Can I use persuasion as a focus?
Absolutely, and I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 threat to give you an extra 2 dice.
Excellent. Yes. Well, unfortunately.
That was 4 successes, and unfortunately you didn't get any criticals. So Ensign, go ahead.
Can I
Ajay.
try and help?
Absolutely, you can try to help. Absolutely.
Please, Ensign, you must believe us. This ordeal has been very tough on us, and I believe these imposters are simply too clever at having learned us. That must be why you haven't noticed anything. Surely they must be keeping themselves aloof from you, or you would have noticed. And you said this was a presence command?
You can do presence. You can actually do presence medicine difficulty.
Oh, hey, I can re-roll one of those d20s because if I use
can.
cautious command.
Yeah.
If I use command, then he can re-roll a d20 too.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm gonna stick with command.
I love it.
And it's 1d20 because I'm assisting.
I got us up to 5.
Up to 5, you only need 1 success. You roll one d20 to do this.
Oh!
He looks over at Commander Ajay and he goes, "Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. But oh gods, if they've been acting normal, they must have something terrible planned. I'm with you, Captain, and thank you. Thank you for trusting me, and I know I was just in the right place at the right time, but it's an honor to serve next to you, and let's go take back your ship."
Excellent.
And back on the bridge, so they're in the transporter room of the Raven. Back on the bridge, we have Captain Karev, we have Paris, and we have Zed. What are you guys up to? What evil diabolical plans do you have?
I would say we're continuing to try to get better scans of the crashed ship that will come to rescue.
You're the evil versions of yourselves right now. Evil guys.
Oh, the evil versions.
Evil
of us.
versions.
Oh, I thought you meant that.
Mirror selves.
Oh, right.
Selves,
yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, Captain.
So Zed will be by the, kind of leaning over the cap's shoulder and saying, Captain, so the current plan is to steal the warp core?
Yeah, I figure.
Well, Captain,
yeah.
Why steal only the warp core when we can get the entire ship? Just think of the technology they may have that we don't have access to. And if you didn't want to keep it, imagine how much latinum it could be sold for on the open market.
I mean, you're right. This thing is a piece of shit.
We could
Especially
keep it
now.
even if you wanted to.
Our greedy little goblin here is right, though. We can't stay on this wreck.
Yeah, I know. That's why I agreed with him, Paris.
The mention of agree with them. There is a communique from the orbiting vessel. It appears the Ragnar is attempting to contact the survivors of the Raven. Captain Treso, not evil Treso, Captain Treso, you seem to have established a comlink, audio only, where you can attempt to broadcast a message.
I'm in the transporter room. It'd be Ajay.
Oh, excuse me, Ajay. Screw me, Ajay.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Yeah.
So, Commander Ajay, not evil Ajay. Commander Ajay. Forgive me. You're right. Commander Ajay, you've established a signal. Take it away.
USS Falcon, this is the USS Ragnar. Do you copy?
No
I
response.
was looking at Krev. Shall we respond, Captain? And if so,
Let's
what's
let
our
him.
story?
Let's let him try a few more times. Then,
Oh yes, if our comms are damaged, they'll have to send down an away team.
yes. Once
If
we'll
there
let
are
them.
doppelgangers, perhaps we can overtake them and replace them by beaming back up to the ship.
We'll let them try 2 or 3 more times. Then we'll send a signal, cut in and out, breaking up, lots of static, maybe 5% of the words coming through. Nothing but gibberish, though.
Yes, Captain.
Maybe only able to hear the word help.
Mhm.
Commander Ajay.
Yes, Captain. Perhaps Mr. Paris can help me with that.
Commander Ajay.
That's
continue to
Dr.
try.
Paris.
Continue to try again, again, and finally you get a message back. Like they just described, it's mostly static. You can hear only the occasional word here and there, but the word that sticks out 3 times is help. You need help. But the help is what you hear. Help, help, need help. All you can make out.
Ajay will mute the comm and turn to Lieutenant Commander Krev. Lieutenant Commander, are you getting any better readings of what might be wrong with their ship?
Am I?
From where you're at, you are barely picking up a signal of a vessel down there. You can attempt to try and localize it, maybe boost the signal and try to get a better idea. Give me a control engineering difficulty of 3, please.
You said control engineering. Control engineering. I'm going to use a momentum. And I'm going to use my focus of improvisation. Hopefully.
Oof. Lieutenant Commander Krev, you are attempting to boost your scans of this supposed USS Raven. What's strange is that you...
Falcon.
Sorry?
Falcon. We
Falcon.
think it's the Falcon.
I'm sorry, Falcon. Forgive me. Falcon. Falcon. Excuse me. Falcon. It's USS Falcon. I love when my players correct me because sometimes I forget what the fuck's going on. This was a weird experiment that I discussed with the players. Like, we're gonna try a thing tonight. It might be weird, and I'm probably gonna get stuff confused, but I'm trying. So it is the actual Raven, but it's coming across as the USS Falcon. Thank you. Yes. In my head canon, I thought this is a really good idea, and then I fucked it up. So there it is. All right. But you guys are here to fix me. All right. That's like I said, this is mostly your thing. So anyway, USS Falcon. What's strange though, Lieutenant Commander Krev, as you start to boost your signal, and you start to get a better reading, you are not picking up a Federation signature. Metal's different, components are different, and as you start to scan the ship systems, everything is not saying USS Falcon. Everything has this signature ISS Raven. Also, dun dun dun.
Commander, I think we've got a mirror universe ship down there.
Ajay's face goes like a little pale before she collects herself.
Have you ever dealt with them before?
I have not, but I've read quite a few of the mission reports.
I was on a brief. I had one brief encounter with a Terran once. Everyone sucks. Everyone from that universe just sucks.
That's been my understanding, yes.
In that case, should we go to yellow alert, Commander?
Yes. One moment, though, Mr. Zed. Let me warn the captain first. And let's not contact them again quite yet, shall we?
Yes. Yes. Go ahead, please.
Ajay de Treso.
And at the mention of Aze de Treso, we are going to go ahead and wiggity wool away from this scene. And we're actually going to pivot ourselves back to the planet's surface, where one Captain Treso, and I say Captain Treso, finds himself in a transporter room that is not his own, alongside one petty officer. All right, Andrea Bronson. And standing before him,
Not Bronson,
is a version of himself with a very, very cliche evil mustache, an eye patch, which is amazing. Bronson is like, Jenkins, what the hell are you doing? It's not our actual captain. He's a doppelganger. All right. So this one here is the real captain. He was captured weeks ago, probably around the time of God only knows. We've had so much temporal bullshit happen in our fucking service, but I digress. All right. So yeah, step away from him, Bronson. We've got the real captain and the real commander behind me, and just step away from him. And you fucking doppelganger, you stay where you're at, all right? Or I'll phaser your ass.
Treso, understanding immediately what's going on, is like, absolutely, son, I got you. And he backs away from Bronson, backs into like a corner, so he's against the wall with his hands up.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Evil Treso, what do you do?
Evil Treso is like,
Excellent. Now, Commander Ajay and I must transport to the ship to reassert our control of the ship from our doppelgangers. We will have to find the other Ajay. But you, Jenkins, and you, Bronson, who of course are newly members of our who are here to know the truth, can help us by keeping this Treso, who is a dirty doppelganger, and we will go to the ship.
Bronson is not having this. He's like, Jenkins, are you stupid? This is obviously not Captain Treso. I mean, look at him. Do you hear him? Yeah, I mean, he's been through a lot, okay? They tortured him, and they made him smoke a whole pack of cigarettes, like, every day, so his voice got all gravelly. It was horrible, all right? It was absolutely horrible what he was undergoing, right? Okay?
It was very horrible.
It was terrible, right? And so we need to get him back to the ship, so that, Dr. Ajay here can fix him, because the technology on this thing is terrible, right? And it's all broken and stuff, right? And Bronson, don't make me phaser you too, okay? Bronson's just like looks over to Captain Treso with an expression of, what do we do?
Captain Treso is just like, while Jenkins is pointing the phaser at Bronson, he sort of just reaches down and just taps his comm badge very slowly so he doesn't arouse any suspicion, puts his hand back up, and then he's like, well, listen, Jenkins, I understand that you believe that this other Treso has been abducted from Bridge. So I can totally understand why you might side with these fine folks. I'm happy to, as long as you, son, just keep pointing that phaser at me. You leave Bronson, who should be in engineering, out of it, and we'll definitely help you. Listen, I have the command code still. I can get you onto the ship without alerting the bridge that you're even coming. They're definitely not going to transport. They'll never know that the real Treso and the real Ajay are getting up there. You've definitely foiled my plan to take over the ship from the Mirrorverse.
At the mention of this scene, we are going to cut back to the bridge where an open comm of the Captain Treso has just given this monologue to everyone on the bridge. of the Ragnar over like just general comms. So you've just heard him say that. Commander Ajay, take it away.
Oh, who is
Lieutenant-
running that shit show down there?
Well, it doesn't matter. Lieutenant Commander, can you lock on to their comms?
I'll see what I can do.
Unfortunately,
Doc.
you cannot. You cannot lock onto their comm badges at this point. For some reason, there is a energy field that is blocking it. That is, and I'm actually going to spend 2 threat to basically to create a disadvantage that you cannot lock onto them.
I can't get it, Doc.
Captain, tell us where they're going to transport to. Mr. Zed, get a security team ready.
We could redirect their incoming transport straight to the brig, Commander.
Can we?
I believe it could be done. Don't you agree, Commander Krev?
I'll see what I can do. And he starts tapping away at his engineering console. I mean, I'm pretty good with transporters. They just usually defer to the captain because he's the cap.
So in this scene, we see a kind of like side by side. We see Lieutenant Commander Krev busily working away. We see the bridge of the Ragnar. We also see Captain Traso in the burned out, mostly destroyed transporter room, stripping down to his knickers, and the actual Traso putting on his captain's uniform. We see Ajay, evil Ajay, doing evil Ajay, still wearing her uniform, but like maybe is like modifying it slightly. I don't know. She's trying to make herself look less crazy, her eyes less crazy, right? And we see Bronson just staring at Jenkins like, "You're fucking stupid. What are you doing?" And Jenkins is just like, "You two stay there. How do we know Jenkins? I'm Jenkins. Wait, how do we know Bronson's not a doppelganger?" He looks over to evil Traso.
Yes. Well, you see, if she were a doppelganger, she would have been put in a position of power and not as a mere petty officer aboard a terrible aboard a very important border patrol vessel that does science. Yes, science, I assume.
I can't with you, Brian. You're so funny. I love it. He's like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Mr. Jenkins, just because she's been fooled by these doppelgangers does not make her a doppelganger herself. Don't worry. We just need to convince her of the truth.
All right, I'm going to give evil Ajay a chance to convince Bronson of the truth. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to roll a presence medicine difficulty of, let's see, 4. Difficulty of 4 on this one. Here's what you're rolling for. Not to convince her, because she's not buying it. She is not buying this, but you're going to be rolling to see if evil Ajay picks up on her pretending to buy it. That's what you're rolling against. So go ahead and roll that check. I will spend 1 threat.
Can I assist by being telepathic?
You know what? Absolutely, you can assist by being telepathic. You can assist. Yeah, I love that. Go ahead and make your check. I spent 1 threat to give you an extra die.
Okay.
An extra die, which is great.
Psychology is an applicable focus.
100%. Ooh, that's 3. We only need 1 more success.
Yeah, but Brian's assisting me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh! No! Oh! There we go. So
wait, we spent a momentum or like a threat, right?
Yes.
A threat, yeah.
So I can re-roll that.
Yes, you can re-roll that.
Oops, that's not what I want. Cancel.
Or you could give the crew of the Ragnar 2 momentum.
No, I have a
Let him re-roll it first.
Oh no! So she's like, "Oh my god, I've been such a fool. How could I have not seen it? Of course this Traso. I mean, Traso's always been a bit more harsh and weird about science stuff. This makes total sense.
Jenkins, blast her. She does not believe us. I sense it with my mind.
and he stuns Bronson, who collapses in the corner, and he quickly turns his phaser onto Captain Treso. All right, you evil doppelganger. You may have brainwashed her, but we're gonna get it back to the Ragnar, and we're gonna make sure she's taken care of. All right?
Treso's like, absolutely, Jenkins. You know that if I were the real Treso, I would definitely be able to use my telepathic gifts, because that's a thing that I'm always doing.
Wait a minute. And he starts to think for a second. But at that point, evil Treso, I think that's a good moment for you to engage transporters. My question is, who are you bringing with you?
I mean, the captain hasn't given any contrary orders, so I'm still just bringing Ajay. It's Ajay, me, and Jenkins, and we're not transporting into a transporter room. We're deflecting off of a transporter room into one of the shuttles.
Absolutely fantastic. So what you're going to do, Captain Treso, is you're going to give me a control engineering. Okay. Control engineering. Actually, is it controls security for I can't, is it I'm having a mental block. I think it's control security for transporter use. Memory serves correct. But we're just going to roll with it. We're going to go control engineering. You're going to roll, and I'm going to have you roll 4 dice. Not spending any threat, but you are going to set the DC for Lieutenant Commander Krev on how many successes he needs to get you guys into the brig instead of onto the Ragnar. We're bending the rules a little bit. We're playing a little loosey-goosey. It's you versus yourselves. It's super
Infiltration
exciting.
as a focus?
Absolutely. Sorry, Krev. Oh my god. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Difficulty 5. Difficulty 5 for Lieutenant Commander Krev. Lieutenant Commander Krev. You actually see a transport signal incoming. You can see.
And actually, what I'll do is I'll give him, because I have a transporter chief talent, I'll give them 2 momentum to increase that to a 6.
Oh my god. It is a difficulty of 6. You have 2 extra momentum. How would you like to proceed?
All right, so that'll give me 2 more dice, right?
Yes.
So that'll get me up to 4. How many threat do I have?
3 momentum, it'll get you up to 4 dice.
Yeah.
You'd have to give
so
me
then 3 threat would be the 5th dice.
That is correct.
I'm going to give them 3 threat.
I will spend that 3 threat to increase your complication range to an 18 to 20.
All right. I'll take it.
What
am I rolling?
I'm going to say control engineering.
Insight engineering?
Control.
Can Zed assist?
You know what? I will let you do insight engineering. I'll let you do it. Should be control, but I feel like insight is you're trying to have some insight into the chaos that's happening, and you're trying to outthink his manipulations of the transporter. You're trying to be one step ahead of him. Like, what would evil Treso do?
Can the ship systems help?
100%. The ship systems can help.
Okay. Does someone have that pulled up?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Hold on.
What are we? Computer sensors security?
I would say sensor security. Yeah. And the ship always has a focus. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes!
Oh my god. Let's go, Ragnar. You've got 2
The Ragnar
successes.
gives you
You
2.
only need 4 more successes.
All right.
You're rolling 5 dice.
Yeah.
And you should have a focus. Oh,
yes!
money. So we cut to a scene. Of a blue light. Appearing inside of the ship's brig. We hear the whew, whew, whew. And as we cut over to the ship's brig, we see evil Treso, evil Ajay, and idiot Jenkins appear in the ship's brig. And you know what? I think that's where we're going to end today's session.
Okay, yeah.
I think that works. And you know what? It's not really a cliffhanger because you foiled their plans. You've absolutely foiled their
We-
plans. I think you
Have
have.
we?
I think you have. I think you
I
foiled
can
their plans.
think of several ways that the evil us could still win.
No. I think it's good. I think you got him. I absolutely think you got him. I know you guys are rooting for the evil use. I know you're rooting for the evil use, but let me just move this guy over here. Let's just move this back to here. Jaken's like, wait a minute, this isn't the bridge. What the heck's going on, Captain? And maybe just evil grumbles from you guys. And
You fool! You have given me the incorrect coordinates, and now we are trapped in this force-fielded area. Not even my emergency pattern dispersion will get us out of here.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And the way that we're gonna end this one here is we're gonna end this one with a bit of a montage of you guys getting them, onto a shuttle, sent back to their mirror universe. You do the nice things that they should. They're grumbling the whole time, and we watch as they warp back into their own universe. And honestly, that was funny. That was funny, guys. I hope you had fun. I liked evil Krev. I like Paris coming in and just cold cocking Krev was fucking baller. Absolutely fucking baller. Loved that. Absolutely loved that. And it was just a silly thing, a little crazy. But that's where I think we're going to end today's session on that note, which was fantastic. And it was a bit of an experiment, a little bit of an experiment. And what'd you guys think? Did it feel weird? Was it fun? What were your thoughts on it? Good, bad, or otherwise?
That was a lot of fun.
It was
yes.
fun.
Uh-huh.
Good. Now, Paris. We're going to have just a bit of a after credits scene. All right, we're going to have a bit of an after credits scene. We find Paris. You are in your room. All right? You're in your room, and you're looking a little sad. Maybe you have a photograph of you and Hagen playing, I don't know, racquetball, breezy squares or something. Super nice. You're just slowly caressing it. And there is a at your door.
Enter.
All right. And as the door slides open, you see one Hagen. And as Hagen steps in, he looks at Paris and says, "I overreacted. Sorry. Can you forgive me?"
I always forgive you.
Steps forward, embrace. We pan back out through the doorway, but we continue to pan back out through the doorway. And as we pan out through the doorway, we travel deep into the ship's bowels, where we see the other Nurse Hagen, maybe the actual Nurse Hagen, currently tied up in a Jeffries tube and gagged. And that's where we're going to end today's session, on that cliffhanger right there. So there you have it. Absolutely. There's the cliffhanger. All right. You thought I was going to let him get away with it? No, I got you. There it is. But hey, I hope you guys all had fun. We'll get around to that at some point. We don't know when that's going to happen, but we'll get around to that at some point. And you will see these beautiful people here next Tuesday. You'll see them. Same game time, same game place for Season 3, Episode 4 of Star Trek Valhalla. I'm not taking it back. It happened. As I have mentioned in the past, at the beginning of the season, I am going full camp. And it's really going to be kind of an episodic thing where we're just going to be doing, I'm watching a bunch of TOS, and I'm watching I found a list of campy episodes of Star Trek. If I felt like we could pull it off, we'd totally do a musical episode, but I don't know if that's actually ever going to happen. That'd be hilarious. But that would take a lot of work and a lot of prep, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But I want to do a couple campy things. I've got a list of some campy-ish ideas that I have with the crew here, which we are going to delve into and continue to explore. But as I always say at the end of every session, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns from today's crew on today's episode or otherwise?
Yeah, I'll have my one-shot, Wolf.
All right. Did you just... Oh, dear God.
Yeah, he did. I can spend mine as well.
Congratulations to Drew, who just had 25,000 Wolf points. Wolf bucks, as I like to call them. And he just has chosen a one-shot. I will be running a one-shot of Avatar Legends this upcoming Saturday at, I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern is when we're starting. I'll be completely honest on that one. I don't know much about Avatar. and I don't know much about Legends, but I do know stuff about game mastering. So I'll bring my A game, and we'll have some fun, and it's gonna be silly. I've got on my docket this week to watch some Avatar, so I can try to do it justice. But
It's good stuff, man. You'll like it.
Chewbacca, message me on the side. Let me know what kind of one shot you'd like me to run, and we'll start talking about when we can do that. But in the meantime, as I always say at the end of every session, as I was saying, with that being said, thank you so much to the players for playing. You guys have been an absolute joy. Paris, I'm sorry I messed with you here today, but it'll be fine. It's going to come back around. We're going to see what happens. And in the meantime, thank you to the viewers for viewing as well. I mean, you guys are awesome. We had a bunch of chatter in the chat today. Thanks for stopping in. We had a new viewer here. I just want to give a quick shout out to Arizonical, I think is how you say it. I hope I said it right, but Arizonical, thank you so much for stopping in and dropping a view in here. Don't forget to drop a follow if you feel like it. But happy gaming, everybody. Be well, be safe, and we'll catch you next time. Good night.